Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Western Europe qualifiers. I'm ODPixel here, joined by VODS. We're looking forward to bringing you the final two series of the day here in this region. It's been a pretty fun day so far, VODS. I mean, I'm sure you've been catching some of the games. Quick recap of what's gone down so far. Spoiler alert, in case you don't want to know. Liquid, they did Goon Squad, and Entity, they just 2-0 Secret, as you can see on the bracket. So those two will be moving on to play each other in the upper bracket final. Liquid and Entity, of course, congratulations to them. They have both secured at least, and at worst, the last chance qualifier slot. So whatever happens, they're going to be playing on a LAN. They're going to be going somewhere. They're going to be making those travels, getting to go on that adventure. And of course, down in the lower brackets, you can see Secret and Goon Squad. They're waiting for their opponents. Today, in the two series we'll be covering, we'll be finding out who those opponents will be. This first series that we're covering, DGG versus Nigma Galaxy. And then after that, Into the Breach versus Team Bold. But yeah, so enough of sort of the overall summary of things. Let's head ourselves into the action because this draft has begun. Nigma Galaxy versus DGG. Fogged, tell me what we're going to see. What do you expect? Is this going to be a stomp, or could it be maybe a little closer than some expect?
I think a lot of these teams have been impressing a lot versus, especially like Nigma. I think Nigma's been, everybody's going to say it, right? They're not looking as strong as people had hoped to promise to see to them, but I do want to comment a little more about the schedule, I got to be honest, because this match, Owen, if Nigma wins,
we're going to get Nigma Secret.
It's Kuro versus Puppy for who decides to go to TI. Like, are you kidding me?
I can't remember what other sort of qualifiers this was in, but I remember we had this sort of meetup. It feels like it happened so many times. But of course, you know, there is the hurdle to get over first for Nigma Galaxy. Until they get there, it is DGG. DGG so far, what we have for them, because we just had the one series themselves starting off against. Oh no, sorry, two. Sorry, they did get knocked down by Liquid, of course, and then they took out Ivy 2-1. I mean, can you sort of think back? I don't know if you caught that series. Did we sort of any hope from them in the games against Liquid? You know, any sort of contest, or was it a rough one for DG?
It was pretty one-sided games, honestly. Like after the laning phase, actually, honestly, both games, the games were like super one-sided. So yeah, I mean, Liquid kind of crushed. But DGG, I mean, I'm trying to remember the match because I think we casted it. It was a long time ago, of course, like 3 months ago. But I think the second game they played, they had a pretty okay showing versus Nigma, but they got stomped the first game. Yeah. So I mean, overall, Nigma, they should probably crush this series, but from what we've seen from them, they are definitely having some weaknesses. And now we're going to see, of course, looking at the drafts, nonsense for a little bit. We're seeing a lot of adaptation coming out, especially, I guess, from Entity. We already are seeing now Shadow Fiend moved up in priority, especially versus something like Death Prophet, this hard hitter.
Yeah, absolutely. You sort of have these ghosts and siphons coming out at you. And as much as that sustain and damage output is very, very strong and high on the Death Prophet, a few right clicks from Shadow Fiend, and as long as you're sort of in a decent part, top net worth, has the farm. Not too easy for the Death Prophet to sort of present herself and be there in the center of the team fight when there's a Shadow Fiend next to her.
It's an early pick for the SF, though. So now you're starting to see some, maybe you can call them kind of unorthodox bans, but you see even a Clockwork ban. And that's because you have Shadow Fiend. This is like going back a long time of Shadow Fiend days. That hero just destroys SF always, so I can imagine that's probably what they're thinking. And now they're going to have to protect any of those other heroes that just get right on top. But they're also, now you look at Nigma, also they're banning out burst heroes as well. So Lena's gone versus the Death Prophet. I think we're just starting to see the Lena's by far the strongest mid, in my opinion.
No, without a doubt. We've seen it time and time again. And just one of those mids who just seems to be able to recover a game where, you know, if your carry's getting crushed, having a rough time, doesn't matter. Lena's ready to step in and be the new carry. The bans we'll have here for. I mean, if you're DGG going up against Nigma Galaxy, considering the performances was so far from Nigma, you know, what do you think is your biggest concern when you play against this?
I thought it was actually going to be the Death Prophet and the Chens, because that's literally the style that Nigma's been going for the entirety of this regional qualifier. I thought they might actually take it out or try to snatch it, but they banned the Tusk instead, just more worried still about GH's impact on that hero. It's just a bit of a shocker to me because of how much we've seen. It's like Sumail's played this like every game. Lots of sustain. Holy moly, this is a throwback. This is like Nigma in a nutshell.
AI won't be able to be thrown into the mix against this heavy sustain and regen lineup that Galaxy want to rule the map with.
It is actually just so much healing. So we're gonna have to see some type of healing prevention for sure come out from DGG. Wyvern's still in the pool. That was Lodine's best hero throughout the entire all DPC. I see a Wyvern right here for versus Chen. He was so good on it. It's good setup for SF.
Yeah.
I can definitely see if he'd like to go for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Against the Chen, against the IO +1 that's eventually going to be teaming up. Curse could be huge.
They're taking so much time for the pick, though, so it's making me think that it's not that.
There's something they see that's sort of putting Odin off from playing at this game.
Okay. This has been also on the rise a lot. We're even seeing Cormoran again across multiple different teams. Could be even a pairing. This could still be the offlaner, right? It could be Marcy Mirana as your offlane. As we've seen now that offlane Mirana a couple times now.
Well, I was going to say as well, which one of the... You could do it both way around, right, from what we've seen. Do you have necessarily preference?
That's actually true.
You know, I feel like in this
match, I prefer the Marcy as a core, but...
yeah, absolutely. I'd agree, yeah. Wim Ranger.
That's an interesting pick. I don't get that one.
I mean, what does this say for where these heroes are going? Because now I'm wondering, this SF, is it necessarily going to be mid, or do you think they're going to run the carry SF?
What it looks like now, it's like a mid Wind Ranger and a carry SF, but that doesn't sound great for Wind Ranger versus DP. I mean, I don't even know if you can like commit for kill with Focus Fire, because if he gets one siphon off, you're not gonna get that kill at 6, even if Javelin.
It feels like some rather squishy heroes.
Yeah, incredibly squishy. And DC, like, I don't know. Yeah, this Wind Ranger pick definitely threw me off a little bit. Because it's not like it's not like it's some type of thing where it's like, you know, it's like the Seb, you know, they just love the hero. They're gonna pick it every game no matter what, something like that. They haven't played it in a long time.
Oh, really? What, you're not seeing it in any of their drafts?
Ever.
Oh, I mean, that's exciting then.
I'm going back a couple months now, and I haven't seen it at least when they were
maybe some secret that they've been like planning, and they're ready to reveal it here in the qualifiers. Come out and try and catch some teams by surprise.
Oh, I lied. 2 months ago, they didn't have a game on it.
Oh, 2 months is long.
10 seconds.
Patches. Yeah, but couldn't expect them to necessarily bring that again. But here they are.
Yeah, I mean, it was MNT playing it, so then I guess it could still be. It could still, I guess, be a 4 and a 5 Marcy. I just still prefer the 4 Marcys or the 3 Marcys, like way more than 5 Marcy in this current current state of the hero.
I guess sort of the thing that can make it feel a bit better if it has some sort of crazy safe lane pairing.
Yeah,
where you can
definitely
get some early kill opportunity. Oh, see here for Nigma Galaxy, more sustain. Look at this. I mean,
how do you kill heroes?
I was gonna say you try and go on one of these heroes, the rest of them are gonna come in and tank up and heal up. They've got the full heal squad here, Nigma Galaxy.
In standard fashion, though, Kuro picking very limited stun. You know, he's gonna rely on the group up, just the team fight aspect, and all those heals to be able to win the fights. But it's standard Kuro. I mean, that's something that he's done for some time. Taking out Timber, it's one of Onmi's better heroes.
Expecting the offlane be revealed as this last pick. Yeah, would indeed lean towards the setup where, as you say, you have Wind Ranger, Marcy, it's just sports. Rana in the mid, SF in the safe.
Sounds weird. I don't know, that sounds really weird. Just really scared that this Death Prophet's gonna get a free game at the moment. Got the troll. I mean, do they just go back to the trusted Monkey King that Miracle was playing, and then they have a full sustain lineup? You got some Boundless as well from here.
I mean, it would be nice to see a hero that sort of finishes up that also has a bit of lifesteal, heal, or regen, just so you can finish off the full lineup.
He was doing it for a long time when the patch first hit, of course, during DPC, but it's been quite some time since I've seen it. I could see him go for some like hard carry, like a Terrorblade this game.
You don't think there will be they'll put the Dawn in the safe lane?
Probably not. I think that's more of my controls hero, but I guess still possible. But yeah, I think TB is quite likely. He's playing to SF. It's really nice. It goes with their lineup with the push. Sure, they're limited on catch, but I don't know, unless they pick an off laner, then they're... I don't think you pick a safe laner here for having extra catch, unless it is maybe that Monkey King that we mentioned.
Let's have a look. Final pick for DGG. We'll see if indeed Nigma Galaxy is right on the sort of thought process that it is going to be their offlaner as the last pick, or if indeed we see that maybe something else in the lineup is already going to take the offlane. But it looks like they should be owned meat on the offlane Primal Beast last pick. At least, it gives them. They needed a bit of beef. They needed a bit of front line, because outside of this, it was all fairly squishy from DGG.
Yeah, no, agreed. They definitely needed somebody that charges in and starts the fight with this Marcy, and this is the exact one. And they have the combo. Marcy Primal Beast as game continues. When you have rebound plus trample, this is absurd damage. The movement speed bonus on trample, and you're just running over people. It is crazy. So a lot of damage DGG does actually have, but is it enough to go through all this healing?
It is so much healing. Let's have a look. Last pick, is it going to be something else that it's going to work to the favor of everybody just healing up throughout the game?
Okay. So it does give a little bit of catch and gives them armor and stuff like that versus the SF. I was thinking he'd go more of a carry route, like a hard kind of carry, but this one gives them a... This is a faster timing, at least for them. It does synergize a bit better, at least with their lineup to end game fast. Lodine Marcy. 5 Marcy, yeah.
5 Marcy laning up there with Pleb on the safe lanes. Seth, TD to take the win rate.
I wonder how that matches.
The mid lane.
Sounds like a hard one for the Wind Ranger now. Death Prophet's just pretty insane, but you can at least poke constantly as the Wind Ranger. All right, you'll at least be able to guarantee CS. You always can break the siphons and stuff like that. You shouldn't die, so you should do pretty okay on the Wind Ranger. I just think Death Prophet will come out slightly ahead. SF Marcy is a pretty terrifying lane, not gonna lie. But there is a ton of damage from Dawnbreaker and a lot of healing. They just have to be careful, of course, for those raises. But at the same time, also, DGG has to be careful with the IO, those heals, being able to offset the raises, so... Okay.
Let's see. So overall, you are still kind of liking what Nigma Galaxy's doing a bit more?
I think SF is a very difficult hero to still utilize at perfection. I think Entity, they're onto something. I think Pure is extremely comfortable on the hero. That's why it looks so good. But all the other SFs lost yesterday, right?
They did. We had about a couple of games in the Alliance Team Bold series where it sort of took turns on each side, and both looked like rough performances.
Yeah. So I think the hero can be incredibly powerful because how many buffs it's got and how much damage you can deal, etc. All these cool builds you can do, but you have to know how to play it. You have to know how to play around it, because this hero can also just straight feed out of control if you just get caught, if you get gone on. So see how it goes.
Well, I think at least, for Pleb, we did see him sort of bring it out during back in the DPC.
Easy breezy.
We've seen it from him before. Solid on it.
Yeah, I mean, they played it the other day versus Ivy as well, too. It was a last pick, though. So that's where it makes a bit of a difference. They also last picked into Clockwork, which is kind of funny, but...
Let's have a look here. Lower bracket game, of course, ladies and gentlemen. Loser at this best of 3. They are out of the runnings for TI. To play for here, Nigma Galaxy. DG here, game 1.
Easy breezy.
Let's see if they can withstand the pressure that's going to come out. What it feels like that's going to come out from Nigma, because it does feel like there's going to be a lot of grouping, tons of global potential. You can show up into a fight and be like, oh, there's only 1 or 2 heroes here, and then an IO relocate brings another one, a Dawnbreaker comes in too, so they can quickly bring the numbers to outnumber in every single one of these fights.
Absolutely, it's going to be difficult for DGG to find those. Very, very easy, or at least, having a huge amount of options in terms of when it comes to being able to try and turn around any sort of move and to react. Galaxy, they've got so much save, sustain, and sort of potential to cause DGG to overextend, surprise them with quick bursts that all of these heroes can really give or receive themselves.
And they're actually, okay, so they're doing this lane setup here. I mean, it is switching up the pairings a little bit, but it is GH because of his IO wants to play with the Sven. A bit different though, having Chen in that top lane. But perhaps they think they can bully a little bit harder, maybe onto the Shadow Fiend like this.
And is it necessarily any easier for sort of Chen to get the creeps he wants when he's playing this side of the map in terms of camp control?
No, actually, I feel like it's kind of a little bit harder. I'm a bit curious about the lane setup. Because I also think Kuro can just straight up die if he gets even hit by like 2 raises up here early game.
Bottom lane. It's 2 off to a hot start there. They're able to run down MNT. It's going to be first blood for Miracle here in the safe lane.
Not careful as the Mirana level 1. They just straight run him down with that movement speed. Again, Kuro. Okay.
Set to trade back there with Lodine.
Okay, maybe that's the reasoning why. They probably feel like the Kuroki Chen can trade better with a Marcy because he has just Divine Favor. He's just got this armor and regen kicked in. Io probably can't trade at all with Marcy, and Io just pairs better with Chen. So cool. Nice setup there. And looking at mid, first 2 waves, totally even.
And as it goes on in this mid, probably going to stay that way, right? I mean, you sort of see one of these heroes being able to harass the other completely out of lane.
Not completely harass the other one out of lane. I just Sumail has like this like base damage advantage, and I just like the Death Prophet animation a lot lately because of both the buffs. So I feel like he should pull a little bit ahead. Not a lot, maybe like 200 gold, like super minimal. Top, but
get him. The tower. Being able to zap him there. See loading, jump back in, hold the 2 of them back with the rebound stun. That will live.
Loading
very, very low there. Down to the last tango. He's going to get more regen sent out, but we'll be sitting rather low in this lane for a bit.
He didn't block the small camp. This is devastating. That's like the best creep Kuroki could have found here. The best for damage. The other one would be the sustain one, as we always talk about for the mana, but this one, now Pleb can't walk up.
He's got to wait for his career to come out with the tangos in the south.
I think he even dies from like 3/4 HP to these 2. To the Dawnbreaker level 2 nuke, plus the Chen creep. This is a scary position now for the Shadow Fiend to be in. They have to, I mean, they gotta even kill this creep.
I mean, they really want to. They're throwing the raises down. They will get it.
I can't blame them for that. It's a pretty decent committal, but... Alright, he's gonna have to heal. He has to stay kind of full HP as SF or he dies. Kuroki finds another pretty good creep. Lodine. This is, I mean, when they do this move, he just wasn't expecting it, so he didn't have the ways to block the camp, I guess.
Kuro even sending the tornadoes in. Really putting the pressure onto this SF now. They need to get aggressive underneath the tower.
Oh my goodness. I mean, he's just constantly sitting at kill threshold. They just throw one spell and then he's at kill threshold every time.
Both of them sort of getting caught there by the trail of the hammer from Mind Control. The Galaxy going to try and get on top of this SF. Won't quite be able to land the stun. Back in return, but...
Lodine, you gotta be careful.
Controlling the tower. They're looking both in a bit of trouble here. Lodine goes down. Pleb, he's been found as well. Nigma Galaxy, they'll take both the kills up top. It is a rough start here for the safe lane of DGG.
Safe lane, mid lane also, we see Sumail having an excellent time. Doesn't actually go for the bottle. He's going for just damage. So now you're seeing a huge base damage. He has 80 damage versus the Wind Ranger's 63. So you're seeing that separation now, 22-7 on Sumail.
And this top lane, it doesn't feel like it's going to get any easier for DGG.
Harder, in fact. Harder and harder once Kuroki starts getting double creeps and stuff like that.
Absolutely. So the opportunities, the windows for Nigma Galaxy to go for the kills are just going to get bigger and bigger.
And Lodi now, yeah, he cannot really contest versus the Chen creeps. Oh, Kuro. Feeding away that Hellbearer. Whoops. But now he's got a Satyr Mind Stealer. So now SF, see you later. No more raises for you. As yeah, I think they're just going to continue to dominate this top matchup. They're just, like, literally having to commit for these creeps.
I mean, that's it. With the way things have worked out, you know, having Kuro up here, he has caused a lot of issues. He's been incredibly annoying for DGG.
And bottom with the IO down there, they've had full free farm for Miracle, and they even early on got that kill because of them. Lane setup's working perfect. Kuro, perhaps now getting chased out.
They'll make him work for it. Highly likely to die there. Set up into the power shot, Kuro. Get taken out.
But he'll burn Lodine's mana for. And now it's Mind Control's level 5. Pleb is level 3 in the top lane.
Oh, that is concerning. The amount of damage that you're able to do as this Dawnbreaker early on, it's not going to be fun for an SF to deal with. And
no.
Under-leveled SF at that.
And also, it's going to mean that Mind Control's level 6 is going to come out so early that, let's say MTD, when he sets up with his first gank, when he has Javelin, whoever he goes for, there's going to be a Solar Guardian on top to counteract it. So, limited moves, perhaps, even when they do get that opportunity for the Wind Ranger.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Odin just consistently low on mana. He has got a one-man go. Kuro making sure that Loading just doesn't really have the ability to make any sort of aggressive move.
Straight bullying. The lane setup is working phenomenally.
2K lead here
Bottom.
for Galaxy.
Good chunk of damage onto Miracle. They actually had a +1. They could have perhaps gone for the kill. M&T though, he's looking for mid because I think, yeah, Javelin is coming out on Courier. Off the mark.
Gonna be perfectly fine.
That one was quite off too. He was walking in a straight line. He just. Yeah.
Where is your best chance if your DGs sort of make that move right now?
You only have a couple seconds.
Yeah, well, 'cause 6 is coming online.
Maybe you go top and you gank MC at this point, but making the rotation up there is really awkward for the Mirana. Sumail's
sure.
actually the one making the first move.
And it's hard to really make a play with Pleb, seeing as he's had such a slow start.
Maybe Sumail here.
Take him out though. Catch him with the shackle in with the rebound. Mind Control. Offering up the heal from the Solar Guardian. It's enough to keep Sumail alive. The Siphons are out as well. Sumail's going to be fine.
Every little thing. They even got the Verdurous Nail down on top of him with the heal with the Solar Guardian. That's the Caesar's Serenity, by the way. Of course, I'm going to call it the Verdurous Dale. Too much healing. The first move happens. The Dawnbreaker's right next to him. Can just ult anyway. 3K lead.
So far, very much coming in with the level of play that the people expect from these players. Nigma Galaxy, solid start.
And the road to recovery for this Shadow Fiend is going to be an incredibly long one. He's level 5. He's got a good way, of course, always to farm in jungle as SF. However, he is incredibly fragile versus this lineup. And they have tons of different ways to get on top of him.
It's going to be just a long time until he's able to arrive in any of these fights and not only just stay alive, but have the ability to do enough damage to punch through. It's an incredible amount of sustain that Nigma Galaxy share between one.
Yeah, they're going to be way too tanky when he does turn up, that even with his full combo, they're still going to have more than enough health to commit onto him. As, I mean, Mind Control is just committing almost alone for the kill.
Wow.
And very aggressive on this top lane.
Over aggressive.
May cost him his life.
Oh.
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 What? Wait, what?
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 Okay.
He had the right click on him, didn't he?
I mean, he stopped his attack. No ways. If he gets out, oh my.
Oh, that is.
Oh
that
no.
Is, what? He stopped the attack.
He stopped the attack. He did. He had ult mana as well, and then ran out because Soul Ring. He could have done a million. Oh my goodness.
That
okay.
was. Well, Mind Control's happy with that one.
Every coin
He's back
helps.
to base and he's alive. I mean, that would have been a huge kill there. Not able to get him.
He has to get punished for that. Oh boy. Big slip up. And now Solar Guardian is going to be back up. So their next move, it's going to be met with counteraction. Oh, that's rough.
Not going to be able to take away this lead that Nigma Galaxy have if they miss those sort of opportunities. 5-2, Nigma Galaxy still sitting comfortably with the lead. Sumail and Miracle farming away very nicely in the top 2 spots here.
The quick push is going to start to come though. Nigma Galaxy is going to start to set tempo a lot faster in this game after this lead with these lanes, the setups that they've had. DGG doing a good job of just camping these runes at the moment though. It's going to be a haste bottom. Loading will be able to take it away. Are they going to still try? I mean, let's see. The arrow.
Can they go on Sumail? They'll get the shackle. The heals are going to be coming in. GH with the tether. 3 of them still continue to try and put there's more heals to come. Heals upon heals. The tether, the Solar Guardian, they've got it all here to save Sumail. As it's just, you know, this is always going to be the problem with DGG's lineup when it's playing from behind. How on earth do you go on any of these heroes?
You can't make the first move almost ever. You have to be kind of counteracting everything. And also, MNT, he shot the arrow before the shackle. Like, maybe they actually have the damage if he waits for shackle and then arrows. A couple times now, MNT's been off the mark. DGG, pretty sloppy this early game.
Top lane pleb.
Uh-oh.
Quick moves here. GH and Samel head towards the top. Pleb will be able to... Oh, indeed, it's there in time. TP put to an end. Pleb try and hide in the trees, but Samel and Kuro, they'll have him dominating now. Samel here, 11 minutes in.
Kuro didn't even move the tome. He had the tome in his bags the whole time. He could have moved it up and had hand of God ready. He had no fear. He's like, I'm gonna live.
He was chilling. To read his book in leisure, you know, he didn't want to be pressured. Look at the time when it's doing, not before.
Level 7, 5k lead, 11 minutes. This is going to be incredibly difficult to recover. When you're behind versus all the healing, as you said, you know, it just makes it that much harder to ever commit for kills. And their lineup, it also just, it doesn't really push towers. It's really difficult to ever hit any buildings at this point now because they are so far behind the lanes.
Definitely feels that things keep going as they have been. This could be one of the quicker games we've had.
Yeah,
12 minutes in, the game being in the state that it is.
They can break high ground, unlike a lot of drafts which can have difficulties to break high ground right now in this patch. Yeah, Nigmas, they'll definitely be able to. With all the sustain, with the army. They're gonna have mech done, and I see Kuroki, he's nearly Vlad's done too, so all the auras are gonna be online as well. Yeah, I don't know how the hell Pleb is ever gonna get back. He's farming some stacks, but this is not. I want to always say, like, he's on the road to recovery, but he is not. He is.
He's gonna try for mind control.
So far.
Ready, TPs are coming in. Backups there. They're pretty much Nigma Galaxy with the four of them ready to chase them out. Moonlight Shadow will come into play. Turn their attention over towards loading instead. Try and run. I mean, it's still MTD and owned me.
Okay, Miracle.
Right, in fact, they've got the setup. The Solar Guardian is coming in. Miracle drops the stun onto the two of them. If they have enough damage here, DGG to take them out this time, and they do. They'll take down Miracle. They'll catch mind control as well if they can get out. This is going to be a big move from them, but MTD, TP out, is put to a stop by Samel. He still has the win run.
Might get out.
Yara coming in as well to hold Samel back. They will get away. DGG finding that opportunity to get two huge kills, taking down both Miracle and Mind Control.
I didn't see if the Hand of God actually clipped. I think maybe it did, but Miracle, maybe came out a little late. Either way, they commit perfectly because they see that relocate pulling them out. Interesting. Okay, they also double ops. I was trying to look at bottom, like, what's going on? It says, the stupid thing they do, man. It says Sentry Ward again. Look, he named the bottom one Sentry Ward.
Sneaky.
They keep doing this to me. I'm like, why do I see two ops wards? And darn it, rumble.
Wow.
But either way, yeah. Best fight that DGG's had, an opportunity to go for it. They don't get tower, but pretty decent to at least slow down this fight.
I mean, maybe that's the problem. You know, now they're confusing themselves. They're like, right, I'll put down this Sentry. Oh, wait, that's the second ops.
I mean, it's me. Roche time.
Could be an easy one here.
Yeah.
If it goes out. They may have stumbled there in that fight underneath their tier 1 bottom. Nigma Galaxy, but straight back out onto the map, taking these objectives that of course DGG will have no interest in trying to fight them for.
Still having a little time on Exorcism. Sumail wants to try to find something he can. I like Sumail's build quite a bit this game. You know, he opted to not go for bottle, didn't feel like he needed it, just went for the stats build in mid lane, the lane, and then a Yules. Very important in this game because they're just limited on stuns. I feel like that's going to be really nice always. Always great versus Wind Ranger as well. And it's just a natural death buff, right?
Return the favor.
Not as often as we see it nowadays than we used to.
He is somehow able to find the opportunity for another move like the one they're able to force bottom. Despite getting those kills, still the lead persists here for Nigma Galaxy.
They have to somehow find like a way to get number advantage, like it happened bottom, but just looking at it's almost never gonna happen because the IO and the Dawn, as we've mentioned multiple times, they're always gonna be there with the numbers on Nigma.
Can get around the mid.
Won't be. He's far.
Pretty deep here.
Protection on all 3 cores.
Oh, but it does come to an
And
end.
fades.
Light Shadow fades here. And so, has owned me his life right before his eyes.
These darn cores. And they're quelling blades and stuff like that. No slots for any dust. Either way, though, they...
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Okay, now Pleb is on the slight road to recovery. Still an incredibly hard one for him into the lineup that he's playing against because they got on him and they are super tanky because of the Warcry and all these auras. So it's still massive uphill battle for him, but almost at the top net worth at least of his. But my god, is he gonna just get deleted when he shows up?
tower is under attack.
Galaxy looking for opportunity around the mid.
They've got a blink now on Miracle. They've got much easier ways to just jump in and start fights now.
Susan back up in a few seconds from Samael if they want to push for these objectives.
Even MTD has to be careful. If he just gets blink stunned into silence, could just die. Miracle is here.
Structures are fortified.
They'll opt to go for top instead at the moment.
Up here, that owns me. Tier 2.
Just gonna take tower. Level 2 ghosts.
Dire structures are fortified.
Sumail now with plate mail also finished on top of everything. He's just so tanky. All this sustained behind the reload.
And up the quick kill onto loading. Couple of swipes here with the God Strength. Standing a chance.
Where do they reload from? Can they actually set up on it?
Near from the top lane. Mind Control still here, ready to back them up on the way back.
Yeah, I can't quite. They look like they're thinking about it though, Omi.
What they can do. Charging on towards Miracle. Miracle turns with the stun. But the TP's coming in. Only already getting taken down pretty low here. The ult gets immediately put to a stop. Shackle comes in. Holds back Miracle for now, but the heals with the Teth of the Solar Guardian and the burst from Chen keeps Miracle fine. Pleb goes down. Nigma Galaxy surround MTD. They'll pick up a 3rd kill here on top of the tier 2 tower. Just a full sort of show there of exactly how hard it is to kill these heroes when they group up. Just heal after heal after heal after heal after heal.
Heal after heal and sustain after sustain, and auras after auras. Like Kuroki, everyone's just buffed up. The Warcry as well, it's every little thing. And they even Pleb shows up, tries to Requiem, gets clipped by a Death Cry for silence, actually contributes nothing into the fight.
What we can do here. Charging,
Nice
getting
arrow.
Miracle pretty low. Still got a minute left on the Aegis. A stun control into Mind Control. CGH come up the heels, try and keep Mind Control alive. They might just be able to allow him to walk out of this one. They do Mind Control. He's going to be fine. Lodine ends up being the one to go down. DGG now turn their attentions over towards Samael, but again, Nigma Galaxy, they're too speedy. They back off, they keep everybody alive. They're ready to reset here with the smoke.
It feels like they're never going to be able to kill any of these targets. They have to take out these supports, but then they just get ripped to shreds from the damage of the 3 cores. There's far too much heals. And yeah, Pleb. He's 0-3 and 0. They completely shut this SF down to the point of no recovery. Miracle
He wants
on
more.
the hunt.
The Ancients there. GH.
PD.
The chance to jump in, yeah, Miracle. He'll go for the Wind Ranger instead. Easily able to take him down through the duration of the Stormhammer stun. Loading as well. Everybody just dying on DGG. Omi's going to charge across them.
He might get chased.
I think
Miracle's
Miracle
here.
might find a chance to jump in up towards the towers. To continue chasing him towards the base. 3 dead on DGG. 17-4, just 19 minutes in, 13k lead. Nigma Galaxy, you know, down here in the lower bracket, there's no messing around from them.
No, this is looking like a Rax this time around. Exo's up. They can maybe even, I mean, they can't actually take out mid because that tower's there, but this is looking absolutely irrecoverable. They've got the Spirit Vessel now in the Mirana to counteract the sustain, but they can't get kills to get any vessel charges, and it still probably wouldn't matter.
Prep try and TP in, get in position from the side. And they pull together any sort of team fight Pleb. Right, you have the Requiem, they've got the Shackle off as well onto Mind Control. They turn the razors onto Miracle, but it's not enough to burst through Miracle straight away. Only charging across, Taylor in, heal up. They'll keep Miracle alive a little bit longer. The Requiem trying to push Miracle back, but he's just getting constantly healed. The Solar Guardian's there. 2 dead, 3 dead as a buyback has to come out here from Lodine. And they haven't been able to kill anybody on Nigma Galaxy. Once again, everybody's alive. Pretty much everybody's at full HP. They're all being healed up. They get the full set of barracks, and DGG unable to do anything to stop them.
Yeah, they literally could barely do any damage. They got Miracle down to 20%, then the heals all get going. I love that they're still hanging on to the Seeds of Serenity, even too, on Sumail. You see the little green Verdurous nail on the floor, too. They're all standing on top of it. They have like 40 HP per second inside of these fights. Yeah, even Climb also, by the way, the Requiem, he didn't have full souls. They just, yeah, they're so far behind. They have no way to get out on the map. As on to the next. You can easily just set up for mid. Miracle's waiting to kill somebody though. He's got God Strength, Arcane Rune. He wants to.
Goes. Very likely to make the jump.
Is it?
And there it is. Straight away, he'll look towards loading. Somehow he'll come in with the kill secure. Just loading, gone for 50. No buyback, of course, on him after using it for that last attempt to defend bottom, which, of course, didn't end too well.
And now look, they dropped the Seeds of Serenity on top of the IO and the tether target. Look at their HP regen, 40 per second on the IO.
Very much going to be a case of DGG just having to consider what they want to change up in game 2, because this game pretty much as good as over. As they'll dive in towards the base, Mind Control swings in with the hammer, takes out MNT. Buyback will come out. Do anything to stop this final set of racks going down. It's going to be so hard, if not impossible. Somehow charges forward with the Exorcism. The Shiva's Guard as well. The BKBs are out. Only pops his own BKB, tries to chase down Mind Control. Miracle, he'll just jump straight towards Pleb, get on top of the SF. That's Pleb out of the game. No buyback for him. DGG, they'll charge over, they'll grab him, but again, the tether to heal. Miracle back up to full HP. Dying up towards the fountain now, DGG. GG is called. 22-minute victory here for Nigma Galaxy. As these are the sort of wins that Nigma Galaxy expects to be getting here in the qualifiers.
Yep, they came in with super comfortable draft. I mean, their typical sustained draft.